Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Well, there are certain people, especially out in the country, who are able to predict the weather. They have a certain ability to know when it is going to rain, when it is going to be cold, things like that. And I don't know if you have heard of these terms, moon dogs and sun dogs. So people know, especially out in farms and things like that, they know how to predict the weather. And the Lord, even in the gospel, in one of the Gospels, mentions to the Jewish people, how is it that they know how to predict the weather, but they don't know how to predict or how to see or read the signs of times? So how good are we at recognizing the signs of times? In 1998, a few hundred religion school teachers were interviewed, and so a survey took place, and they said, I'm going to give you a few numbers, so bear with me here. 10%, only 10% of interviewed teachers of religion in Catholic schools, 10% say that they are not only 10% of them agree on what the church teaches regarding contraceptives. Only 10% in 1998. So that means that 90% of school teachers might not be Catholics. Only 26% of them agree with what the church teaches regarding abortion. 74% say they do not agree with the church. Only 27% believe in what we know as the papal infallibility. Only 31% of them agree on what the church teaches regarding euthanasia. 46% say that marriages should be dissolved in the church. 65% of religion school teachers do not believe in the real presence of Christ in the Blessed Sacrament. 10% of them do not believe that Jesus is God. So what do we guess by going through these numbers? Well, it indicates a profound apostasy with regards to the church's teachings. And we have to keep in mind this survey took place in 1998. Then later on that same year, lay people in general were interviewed, and they said 39% say that they can be good Catholics without having to obey the church in anything. So 58% say that they agree with abortion, and that wouldn't place them outside the church's teaching. 66% believe that they can get married as many times as they want. 67% say that they don't need to be married in the Catholic Church. 75% are in favor of abortion. 67% believe that women should be priests. Now, between the ages of 20 years old and 40 of those interviewed say, 90% of them say that they can be good Catholics without going to Mass. 19% of those young people do not believe that the Catholic Church possesses the truth, Catholic Church. Before 1965, 43% of young people between the ages of 16 and 26, 43% believed that they were committed to the teachings of the Church. In 2005, none, 0 young people believe that. So now what does all of this mean? It means that Catholics don't have grace. They don't have supernatural life of grace. That means that 83% of Catholics behave as pagans. So, the great majority of Catholics believe that they don't have to obey the Church regarding any of these teachings. Their own conscience tells them what to do, what to obey, what not to obey. So, now, sanctifying grace, which was given to us in baptism, is necessary for salvation. See? So, if we do not obey the divine law, which is a gift from God, so that we may go to heaven, if we do not obey the natural law, we are procuring our own destruction. See? So, in this world, the only one who has the capacity and the authority to say what is right and what is not right is God, not us. So, the idea that thousands upon thousands of Catholics have, when they say that they don't need the authority of the Church to do right or wrong, is coming from hell. It's coming from hell. See? In 1960, since 1960, cohabitation has increased 1,000%. Nowadays, 48% of children are born out of wedlock, whereas in 1965, only 8%. 98% of women in this country has used some contraceptive method to impede childbearing. So 85% of women think that an unwanted child is going to become an obstacle in their lives. Now, in 2007, the 3 greatest companies of pornography were able to gather a total amount of $6 billion in one single year. 90% of pornographic websites are visited by children between the ages of 8 and 16. See, the normal age for kids to view pornographic images is 11 years. And that was in 2004. By the age of 18, nowadays, 79% of young people have lost their virginity. 2000, only that year in Italy, we had 166 cases of demonic possession. Those were only 166 cases that were treated by the church, because 500,000 people believed in Italy in the year 2000 that they were possessed by demons. So this is what we see. This is how we see the world. We are surrounded by evil. And St. Paul says, these are the works of the flesh: fornication, uncleanness, immodesty, luxury, idolatry, witchcrafts, enmities, contentions, emulations, wraths, quarrels, dissensions, sects, envies, murders, drunkenness, and such things. And he says, St. Paul says, and I tell you again, as I have mentioned it to you before, that those who do such things are not going to inherit the kingdom of heaven. See? So what do we see in this world, in this culture today? Do we see goodness, joy, peace, patience, faith, modesty, chastity? Do we see those things? See? So, it might seem that the spirits that control this culture are demons. See? I mean, I can tell you all the other things that happen inside the church. See? So every person, whenever he says that it is up to him to decide what is right and wrong, he's opening his heart to all kinds of demons, whether he knows it or not. See? The people of Israel in the Old Testament believed that all those gods of the Gentiles were demons. See? So every time demons control a culture, that culture becomes pagan, as it is the case with our own. See? So what can we do? Those, St. Paul says, those who belong to Christ, they have crucified their flesh with vices and concupiscences. If we live in the Spirit, let us walk also in the Spirit. We cannot win this battle unless we practice two things: mortification and penance. Mortification and penance. St. Paul said, I carry in my body the signs of the death of Christ, so that his life may also be manifested. So in our own particular lives, what do we do? First, to be able to acknowledge the influence of an evil spirit. Secondly, what do we do to defend ourselves against such influence? So, thirdly, what do we do to promote all of these things that come from the Spirit, from the Spirit of God? Charity, peace, patience, benignity, goodness, longanimity, mildness, faith, modesty, chastity. We have so much to do. We have so much to do. We have lost an entire generation since 1970. So let us think about these things and make sure that we are actively doing something about this. So, mortification and penance. Without these two things, there is no Christian life. Without mortification, without penance, without sacrifice, the Christian life doesn't exist. So now we know that what controls this culture are demons, that majority of Catholics are pagans, and that there is something we need to do. So let us think about that and make a good resolution. Make a good resolution, not only to do our best to stay away from these things, but also to work in the promotion of the true Christian life. True Christian life. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.